so much damage now.
So much.
You get hit by the amplified, and
Yeah.
you're not going to have a fun time.
I mean, this is looking like a very in and out kind of
10
draft. You know, one of those
seconds
ones where you're not really looking to take the full-on 5v5 smash down engagement, but
seconds
rather
remaining.
play around the sides. You know, jump in, jump out. You've got the Marcy, you've got the Slada. You can kind of play around the fights a bit. It's all about basically just avoiding the Dawnbreaker and trying to kind of outmaneuver TSM in the team fights. That's what this draft does.
100%, because they don't have any big teamfight ults or like cooldowns that they have to wait for, so it's all about abusing the move speed and the mobility to try and get TSM to press a button, like use the Requiem or use the Tombstone.
Now select your heroes.
And okay, TSM just gonna ask Tomato what is the 1v5 hero this game, and he will respond with the Nagasaran. It can be really good against this kind of playstyle that we're talking about from Spirit. I just get the song, get the lockdown, take the team fight, and definitely good matchup against the Drow Ranger.
Yeah, good matchup against the Drow. A little bit worried about the AoE stuns of Collapse, Toronto, Tokyo, and Mira. You got 3 to worry about there, so no safety in numbers here for Tomado, but at the same time, definitely looks like a game which could be solo carried. The double anti-armor strat with Bryle also coming into play a little bit here. Also, you know, you can get off that song, Saberlight can come down and save everybody, and then
10
Doobie can throw it on the
seconds
tombstones.
remaining.
They've got a lot of setup, a lot of response, a lot of reset for these fights,
5
which,
seconds
as I mentioned
remaining.
before, about the kind of outmaneuvering, that's going to be way harder now. So conceptually, I think this Nagasaran might work out for them.
Yeah, I like it. And his lane should be super free as well, right? It's at least at face value here, it's an Undying into double melee strength, which we have not seen be very successful or very fun. We saw that Brewmaster, was it the Brewmaster Marcy lane that just got completely dominated by the Undying. So we'll see if Dubu can bring a little bit of that this game.
Yeah, and I'm super interested to see how Team Spirit play it as well, because, you know, this is a big answer. As we've said, they've got the reset buttons, so they're not just going to have to outmaneuver them. They're going to have to outmaneuver them and then outmaneuver them again and then outmaneuver them again, and it's kind of like outmaneuver. I don't know, but Team Spirit can absolutely do that. They can absolutely play to that level, and of course, you know, all strategy goes out the window with a significant advantage coming out of the laning phase as well. That could also happen. There's a lot of variables in this game and a lot of ways that both teams get the advantage over the other. I'm not sure I can comfortably predict. Leaning TSM a little bit. I think their draft just makes a little bit more sense. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm mostly on TSM just because I think the Slardar is so important for this lineup for Spirit, and I don't see him necessarily having a great start. He'll just slow down everything else because he's really the most important piece of the puzzle.
Alrighty,
Prepare
let's get
for
into
battle.
it. Game number 1 in this best of 2 series. It is TSM FTX versus Team Spirit here at the TI-11 group stages. Best of 2 matchup to find out who's going to get those all-important, juicy points.
And like I said, TSM trying to ward off, potentially even ward off elimination at this point. You know, still a hope. It's still early enough that they could make it into the upper side of the bracket, but they are down there at the bottom of Group B currently.
Yeah, a lot of Dota still to be played, don't forget. We are sitting on a 10-person group stage, so, well, 20-team group stage. Look at both groups, so a lot of Dota still on the cards as TSM come up the high ground. See Team Spirit just going to kind of
30
scatter
seconds
and
to
avoid
battle.
them most. This mob of heroes just going to be kind of ignored for the most part.
Yeah, they've got the bonus night vision on the Bane, so actually he can see them while they can't see him.
He's just like, is he around here? I'm not sure. Steps closer, Maposhka steps away, Maposhka steps closer. A little bit of a dance in the nighttime here between these two teams.
They're gonna go.
The battle
Yeah, Dubu
begins.
actually overshoots it on Mira there, but is it going to matter? I'm not too sure. Dubu, not quite sure he's tanky enough here, and is just going to walk them away from the rest of the team to make sure he's the only one that goes down.
Well, another mid lane matchup, perhaps thwarted from being a clean 1v1 by Toronto Tokyo just getting the first blood. Going to be pretty happy with that, and they get the D ward up on the high ground. Okay, that's a rough start for TSM.
Yeah, Yeah, I think he might have spotted that. Just noticed that he had a ward when he came back into the vision of the Bane. And it was no longer there. So, here are your lanes. We've got Toronto Tokyo versus Bra in the middle lane. On the Lena versus the SF, going to be a slight advantage for Toronto Tokyo. Turning into a fairly significant one with the first blood.
So I think both of the side lanes should be wins for TSM. Of course, you know, Mira, as we're seeing, can try and make a whole bunch of shenanigans happen. If we get him in time, he gets the range.
Mitch, he's able to bring him down. Bryle just chases him down with the triple raises. That is how you do it. Bryle bouncing out the middle lane, the only way he knows how.
How did that happen? Did you see that? I was...
Yeah, watching the whole thing.
Oh my god. All right.
Just try to stand there and dragon slave him down, but yeah, Bryle just chase him to the end of the earth.
All right, so much for your mid lane advantage. Toronto Tokyo only has 2 CS to his name so far. Gonna be pretty happy that he got that first blood so that it didn't get handed over to the Shadow Fiend there.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very small silver lining. He's like, well, at least it wasn't first blood, right, guys?
Yeah.
Bryle. This guy is a very old bottom lane. They move forward onto Yatoro, and they're going to be able to kill him off. Another one for TSM as they get things started. Top lane, it's not over yet. Collapse getting pretty low. Trying to fight up into Dubu here, but Dubu standing around. He's got all these mangoes and a fairy fire, so no chance of him going down actually into the bottom lane. It keeps on happening. Saberlight under the tower. Maybe he's taken a step too far forward here, but there's the tower aggro going onto the creeps instead. As in the top lane, Mira will fall, and Saberlight just about survives down at bottom. Not quite caught out by the multi-shot of the Drow. That's well, chaos in the laning phase right now.
TSM coming out in this laning phase and just throwing haymakers, like absolutely going for it. I cannot believe that Saberlight is under the tier 1 tower that like 2 minutes into the game, but punishing this Drow Ranger pick super hard. Poshi gets to level 2 now, so maybe they can do a little bit more with the Nightmare, but...
Possibly. Meanwhile, it's hot. Collapse and Mirror just trying to kind of tag team onto Dubu, using that sidekick along with the Bash of the Deep to get a bit of damage up onto the Undying, but he just doesn't care. He's a big boy.
Yeah, and they absolutely can't go for the Naga. Tomato's sitting on 11 armor currently, and you've only really got physical damage other than the rebound. Totally free lane for Tomato. Just going to get an enormous amount of farm. Brawl continuing to make this mid lane look really good for Shadow Fiend. He's got more deny. He's got as many denies as Toronto Tokyo has last hits. More now.
Little miss there on the high ground raise for Bryle, so Toronto Tokyo will be able to get a slight advantage back in this lane, at least for now.
Mid lane's stressful. They're both a little bit low. It's like a triple raise on one side versus maybe a stun and some auto attacks on the other to get the kill.
Oh, he goes forward for the rage creep. That might cost him his life though. Toronto Tokyo, he's got the sticks, but doesn't have the Dragon Slave for another 1 second. We'll chase him under the tower, but the one is there. Or the fairy fire, that one, sorry. As Bryle keeps himself alive on the absolute precipice there. And it's down at bottom. Down he goes again. Roshka going on a merry walk with Saberlight, and unfortunately meets the sticky end of the hammer.
We talked about it earlier, but why did people stop picking this hero again? It's suddenly making a comeback here in TI-11 groups.
That does work. If you can dominate the lane like this, the hero just looks ridiculously good. And Yatoro, oh, how do you miss that silence? Well, he gets the other side of them on Saberlight. The silence, the sleep will cancel out Saberlight's Starbreaker. They will take Yatoro to sleep. Mumianda going to break in with the Crystal Nova. Yatoro gets a kill, but will be dying here as Saberlight now dominating here in the bottom lane. Meanwhile, up the top, they're chasing down Collapse. Dubu and Tomato get on top of them, bing down the Fishy. And that is another kill for TSM. My goodness, 2-7 in this laning phase at the moment.
Collapse does get kill credit for that one as Dubu dies to the tower. Getting something at the very least, didn't wait long enough. I think Mira was off looking at the mid lane, trying to see if they could find a kill there, but Collapse getting punished super hard for his Marcy not being there.
They're trying to make the difference, but it's really, really tough. Moonmeander trying to come in on the side. Oh, Toronto Tokyo reads it well. Steps away and doesn't get caught in the middle.
See some supports coming in, you know, giving a bottle refill, maybe a back rub, a high five, anything the Brawl wants. Sidelines are doing fine, though actually while they're away, Tomato in some danger.
Yeah, he's being chased down. I don't think he's getting out of this one. Mirror and Collapse got to get on top of him. Whilst the supports are away, the offlaners will play. And Tomato gonna lose his life up at top.
Trying to Tokyo wanted that 600 and he's going to be able to deny it over the top of Dubu. Okay, nobody gets it.
Boschka taking some hits, but also dealing some hits. They're sticking around for a very long time against Moonmeander here. I'm pretty sure Sableye just going to Starbreaker him down here. Yatora already using the silence, so no chance to stop them that one, but maybe Yatora can get a bit of revenge. I mean, those frost arrows are annoying, but they're certainly not deadly. Sableye, he's got himself a sacrifice, but it's not going to be enough, or is it? Yatora turning around and fighting, but he's got no help. No one's coming to help him out here. Starbreaker swings him down.
Nobody wins.
Yatora, he is going to die in the bottom lane. My God. 5-0-1 on
can't wait. There's still action on Dubu here.
Okay, alright. Yep, being alley-ooped by Mira. One more hit will do the job. Collapse brings him down. That's going to be a kill going away of Mr. Collapse. They're getting things started in the offlane here. Team Spirit are getting a bit of momentum coming back in their favor.
Yeah, very important that they're getting this. Collapse just straight rushes the Mask of Madness. Didn't even have boots. Still more action.
Down to the bottom lane, yeah, Yatora just kind of guns down Moonmeander as Boschka makes a really nice little rotation in, same like over the TP, but the rebound's there, cancels it out, and they will be able to get Yatora a bit of space down here in the bottom lane.
And just like that, lanes that seemed like they were getting completely dominated by TSM do get turned around somewhat by Team Spirit. And Collapse is kind of looking fine, they've salvaged bot somewhat. I'm going to punish Collapse up top.
They're going for it, yeah. And they've got some the frostbite there to keep him solid. And Moonmeander will be grabbing that kill onto the fishy. But Mira also getting run down on the side here as Bra's going to be able to scoop up that one. So that's going to give him a little bit of catch-up gold, which he did actually need as he is starting to struggle in this mid.
18 kills in 8 minutes.
Come on, basically, don't let the tempo drop. Tokyo moving on to Moonmeander. Laguna Blade comes out, but it's not enough damage to finish the job. As Moonmeander trying to play on the vision. Toronto Tokyo eats the tree, and they will be able to kill off the CM. There's Brawl. Tries to pop in from the side, gets put to sleep by Maposhka. Which race does he have? He's got a long one if he can close the gap here on Maposhka. Oh, the one comes out from the base. That'll keep him alive. Toronto Tokyo hammering down Tomato from the logo. Oh, Maposhka dares to come back in and gets himself killed off. Brawl does grab that kill. Bottom lane now, Jesus Christ, bottom lane now, Sableye. They're trying to chase down on Toronto Tokyo, but going to be thrown around by Mira. Going for the TP out, and there is no cancel, and they don't have the damage. He's going to get himself away.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
20 kills. Keep going, no man. I don't need to talk. This is
yeah.
This is all
paycheck today.
Yeah, it's all explaining itself. But if you switch it over to the net worth, as we see, Collapse is suddenly #1. Toronto Tokyo, even with that death, still doing fantastically on the Lina. Hasn't been getting too involved around the map, but did just pick up that kill on the CM. And it seems like somehow Team Spirit just stick in the landing, even after the way that the beginning of the landing stage went.
Yeah, quite the tumble they've taken, but somehow, as you say, end up on the crash mat feet. Firmly planted. He comes down as well. Laguna Blade to finish the job, and that is a dead Shadow Fiend. Maposhka already looking for more, but Dubu wisely backing himself away. But this leaves the tower undefended, and Toronto Tokyo going to blast out a ton of damage onto the middle lane here.
I was feeling confident because they had a ward on the high ground, but Maposhka and Mira just happened to be on the other side. They hit the Nightmare to Dubu as well.
Drag back, Toronto Tokyo lands the LSA. Collapse dying though up on the top side, but it's Dubu that will fall over towards the mid. Elsewhere, it does look like it's the first usage of the Solar Guardian to turn things around for Tomato as they throw out the ensnare and get the catch on to Slaughter.
Yeah, I clicked on Saberlight earlier and it was on cooldown, so I think that might be the second, but yeah, still very nice. Going to be important that they start like kind of parking the Dawnbreaker.
Yeah, this feels ambitious. He has got that silence to come out, but when it ends, Saberlight will try and run him down. They have got the ultimate on Moon Meander and no hesitation for him to just drop down those icicles onto Yatoro's
Dire's
head.
middle tower has fallen.
They do lose the mid tier 1 tower, and since we're going to waste no time coming to see who's home here in the Dire jungle, checking out Tomato if he's farming. The Naga doesn't want to be taking Ancients just yet, so ideally this is really where she wants to be sitting and absorbing all of this Dire jungle farm. Maybe switch over to the Radiant side now that they're muscling down this tier 1 tower at bot. And it is still going to be somewhat tricky for Team Spirit this game to get out on the map, right? We haven't had a chance to talk about like Naga Siren split push, Dawnbreaker holding a lane. Going to be important that Sarda gets his blink. Maybe they even get a Shadow Blade or something on the Lina, and that's kind of how they can punch through the split push from TSM.
Tower is under attack.
Yeah, that's true. These lanes are going to be shoved in all the time. It's going to be very hard for TSM to really control, really hard for Team Spirit to really control the map for too long before they have to come back and deal with things. I imagine we'll see probably a pretty quick boot to travel on Toronto, Tokyo at least. Maybe even
under attack.
He's rushing BKB currently.
Dire's top tower.
So they feel like maybe their timing is a little faster. Maybe try and take an early Roche with the corrosive haze, something like that. I was wondering if there was going to be any adjustments to try and plan for the Naga. You know, we have seen a couple of Maelstrom Linas. There is, I guess, always the potential for the Drow Ranger Ags, though the build just doesn't look very good. I think buying all these defensive items is probably better.
Yeah, it's always a bit awkward to go for the Drow Ags. I mean, it does help you farm, but that's about it. Collapse. Yeah. We'll cancel out the ultimate from Moon Meander, but
he's fast.
Actually, he's pretty quick. I'll drop the tombstone down. We need the zombie to spawn, and that's not going to happen. So Collapse just waddles away. Easy peasy.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Just managed to clip Moon with the edge of that crush, and that keeps him alive.
Yeah.
Now that he's 100% sure he's safe, it's time to chat wheel.
Yeah. Make sure you're clear first. I wouldn't want anything embarrassing to happen.
Yeah. It's not just a full farming build for Tomato. He's picked up the Yasha, but he's actually going to be going back for a pretty quick Orchid this game. So it does want to have that little bit of extra threat. Maybe kill whoever is trying to hold on to the bottom lane while he's down here pressuring. I kind of like this, really. It shouldn't affect his farm rate too much. And having that little bit of extra kill threat should be pretty big. Even just saving yourself, right? Like if the Marcy comes jumping in on top of you, maybe you can get the Orchid off. Gives you the opportunity to get the song and get out.
Yeah, it's certainly an option. And you still think the Orchid is fine for farming with on this here?
Yeah, I think it's fine. You farm so fast just naturally with your illusions and your Riptide.
But meanwhile being a very, very annoying speed bump, which TSM keep kind of flying into and then being bounced off the road. Very, very hard for this for Dawnbreaker to close the gap on anyone whilst being put to sleep all the time. Poshka, very on the ball.
Yeah, it's tricky. They want some kills, but they don't really have a way to lead them. So that instead of somebody running in and the Dawnbreaker kind of coming in getting the ulti, Saberlight's having to go and look for this action himself, which is not really how you want to be playing the Dawnbreaker necessarily.
Yeah, and he's going for the Crimson Guards. He's going to pick up an incredibly early Crimson Guard here on Saberlight. Give him an extra damage block. I mean, I guess it's a nice alternate answer to the Drow. Damage block instead of armor. Penetrate straight through that anyway. It penetrates base armor.
Yeah, it gives him some plus armor, and it's going to make the supports a little bit more durable against... it's just physical damage, really, from Team Spirit, right? Sure, the Lina's got a little bit of nukes, but it's all you need to itemize against. So I like this from Saber. I think he could have considered, like, a Halberd or something as well. Might even still see that a little bit later on, though maybe starting to think about, like, the Blink and the Shard from this point.
Radiant's middle tower is under
attack. Very clearly making a statement here as they demand the middle tower off of Team Spirit. A little bit of counter push going on from Collapse, but not much. Not really doing the building damage with this one. And Briar, Solarlight, Moon, and a couple of illusions will be able to take down the middle lane. Oh, Crystal Maiden gets a last hit. Nice.
Yeah, nice for Boom. Just working on some drums. So they do kind of have 2 position 5s this game, as Miposhka going to spot them once again with this night vision, rotating top, sees them. They don't see him. He knows where the rotations might be coming. He's making a nice little safe pocket for Collapse to farm in. They'd like to make a play top, but can they make anything happen? Bottom lane's already getting shoved all the way into the tower. Mid lane's about to reverse and get pushed back out as well. So not too much of a window before this becomes very obvious where they are on the map. Yeah, look at the square drop from Moon Meander. It's like, guys, I think I know where they are.
Yeah, and he's right. They're in the pit right now, actually. Interesting, it's just mirroring Collapse right now. Yutoro will come across as well. TSM and gathering in the neighborhood. Yeah, they're not going to be aware of this. This is just going to straight up be a Roshan taken from the side of Team Spirit. TSM just not really clocking it here. And Yutoro going to pick up an Aegis. I think they'll be kicking themselves about that one. I don't think TSM knew.
Yeah, wild that they can just walk in there against the Naga Siren. For turn around and turn to Tokyo.
Consider going for the Requiem, but they're unleashing the damage now on to Sableye. Sableye trying to stay alive, will back himself away, but right clicks in from Alina, and that's going to get that kill. Requiem comes through, they'll look for Mira. Mira, rebound not available, so she's going to fall. Miposhka as well, a couple of slaps from Briar will send him to the grave, followed up with a raise for good measure. Song on the sidelines here, they find the lead. Wait, she's just died, she's come back, she's going to die again. Tomato goes blender mode and just churns up poor old Toronto Tokyo, and that's just going to be the Aegis.
No, it's on.
Oh no, it's Yutoro with the Aegis, right? That makes more sense.
But yeah, he's like, damn. Took them so long to get through Saberlight. He is just so beefy. He's even got another buckler on top of everything else, and they get kind of baited into the tombstone and just can't escape from that point. I love the way that Tomato is playing, right? He's not just sitting back in AFK farming, he's coming in and really making great use of this orb. I think he even picked off Collapse on the side here. They come in, they reset away, they pop all of their damage.
Radiant's
and
top tower is under
Collapse
attack.
is looking for +1, but actually just gets turned around on.
Yeah, and Yutoro gets knocked down to the low ground with the zombies upon him as well. It really feels like he can't come back into that engagement.
Yeah, we said it had to be kind of in and out from Team Spirit. They can't fight the big team fight buttons. It's got to be pick off and then reset with rebound, reset with your Guardian sprint. Kite back to some vision, maybe look for another pick-off if TSM split up too much. I don't think that even with the Aegis they can win these head-on 5v5 clashes.
Yeah. And maybe wishing they gave the Aegis over towards Alina, but then again, she died twice there, 100%. There was no way she was getting over that one, so... Could make an argument about being able to save BKB, but ultimately, Yutoro gets out, and that's what they needed on Team Spirit, just not the full wipe. And Tomato, he is getting big.
Yeah, he's huge. And I think a lot of this gold is coming from the fact that he's just coming in, getting involved, getting kills on big heroes. And this is like by far the most active Naga Siren gameplay that I've seen. On the hunt again.
Yeah, no, Orchid doing the work. Collapse and caught out here by Moon Meander once again, letting it go. Orchid's in, damages there. Brawl gets a kill, and they will take over the biangle off the side of Team Spirit. Another beautiful circle drawn by Moon Meander. Quite the artist.
This is ours. We can be wherever we want on the map. It's
Radiant.
Yeah, Team Spirit just can't seem to really get the ball rolling. Even getting that free Aegis seems like it's just gonna end up being a little bit of farm. Maybe things change a bit when they get the BKB on Collapse.
Is under attack.
Very weird back and forth. The laning stage was a total disaster.
Dire's
They
top
recovered
tower
that,
is
and
under
now
attack.
we're drifting back into what can they do territory.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They'll have to be a little bit careful down here at bottom as Yutoro is searching for him. Light running through the trees, multi-shot will be off the mark, and that should mean that Saberlight gets out to safety. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Ryle, he's just giving this tower a tickle. His tickle is one of those tickles which sort of hurts more than tickle.
Yeah, it's a competitive tickle.
Radiant structures
But-
are fortified.
They're just getting
Radiant's
big
middle
ranked
tower is
tickling.
under attack.
Yeah, they're getting jumped here. How did she go?
Yeah, but Inquisitor Saberlight trying to save the day and throw closing the gap here onto Yatoro, trying to force it back out of the fight and making sure he just can't sit. Look at Saberlight literally just zoning out Yatoro as Mirror and Collapse just die on the front lines here. Violent Tomato doing the damage while
Radiant's middle
Saberlight
tower
doing
has
the
fallen.
zoning. That's exactly how these fights are supposed to work, and it looks beautiful from TSM at the moment.
Yeah, they can't fight the 5-man, but they also can't seem to break out of the split push hold either. I don't know what you're supposed to do, really. Toronto Tokyo is trying to pick up a Shadow Blade, so maybe they can stick him together with the support somewhere, get a pick off on the sidelines. Your sidelines can open up the map somewhat, but this Naga Siren is really putting pressure on them.
It looks so good. The perfect pick. You know, been doing everything this team needs him to. And they've been so comfortable with doing it as well.
Yeah, it seems I don't know if I've ever seen Team Spirit so stymied when it comes to being able to move on the map. They're always finding these like random pickoffs, smoking into exactly the right area, but what do you do when Naga is pushing 2 lanes and the Dawnbreaker is camping the 3rd? It's just impossible to get your lanes past the river.
Yeah, I feel like Team Spirit maybe could have moved a little bit harder onto Saberlight, because that's always used to be the way that people would answer the Dawnbreaker. But you go on the Dawnbreaker itself and all of a sudden Saberlight won't be able to TP in and save his team. And his team's not going to be able to hold TP over and save him, so that hasn't really happened from Team Spirit.
Radiant's
To be fair,
middle tower
Saberlight's made it
is
very
under
difficult.
attack.
He's playing extremely defensively. He's not down this bottom layer at all. He's just sitting on the towers, sitting in trees, and playing extremely carefully as Toronto Tokyo forced about the BKB up at top.
Yeah, Tomato's just walking up with his illusions and be like, "Oh, don't worry, guys, it's just a stack
Radiant
of illusions."
structures
And
are
suddenly,
fortified.
the net comes flying out. Toronto Tokyo being forced to. They are trying for that play that you were talking about in Saberlight. He's tanky.
He certainly is, but the silence is there, but the team is coming. They will be able to get some revenge. Saberlight is not even dead yet, actually. He's going to be able to survive through this one. Mirror's the one who's going to fall on the side. Meanwhile, Toronto Tokyo and Maposhka just
Radiant's
gonna
middle
leave.
tower is
They
under attack.
needed more on TSM net, and they just did not have it. It's not over. Albright taking heavy hits to the front lines here as Yatoro from the trees is trying to find a bit to this one. Now trying to get the TP away. Can they get the cancel? They can't. Out goes the Drow. Collapse does get left behind somewhat, but a great little play there from Yatoro. That's going to bring down the Shadow Fiend.
I don't know how Team Spirit made something out of that situation. It looked pretty disastrous. Saberlight is just so tanky. Dawnbreaker is looking very
Radiant's
thick.
bottom tower is
and-
under attack.
At least they managed to bail out their Drow Ranger, but Tomato's just running at them. I don't know if you meant to net that creep, but okay, just kill it,
Radiant's
pretend it didn't
bottom
happen.
tower is under attack.
Fine.
Yeah. See, just look at Saberlight puts down the Wraith Pack.
The Wraith Packs, yeah.
Yeah, and he goes to ulti out, it gets silenced, and then he just runs back in on top of Moon Meanders, like, save me with the ulti, please.
Yes.
He's fine.
Hug the Crystal Maiden.
Radiant's
Mother,
bottom tower is
protect me
under
from the
attack.
bullies.
Beautifully played by Team Spirit to bail out the Drow Ranger. Looked 100% dead. Collapse, sacrificing his life
Radiant's
to
bottom
get this
tower
kill.
is under attack. Radiant
Get the
are
Drow out.
Yeah.
That's every good effort.
As well, I was just saying how good it was that the Dawnbreaker was staying alive at bottom and then gets caught, but doesn't get caught and lives. And Poshka got to get the rebound buff to get himself away. Turns into a very speedy Bane and can float himself to relative safety. But it does mean that TSM are controlling this area of the map and are likely to start barreling down this top lane next. Although Roshan respawning any minute now, they don't know exactly when. It will be quite a long respawn. That might mean that TSM show a little bit of hesitation.
Yeah, and you have to imagine that Roshan's going to end up in the hands of TSM. If they give another one away, I think that's really a blunder, right? When you're talking about you've got the split push and the map presence superiority, you've got the Naga Siren.
Radiant's top tower is
It
under
should
attack.
be kind of no contest for Team Spirit unless they're able to find a pick off beforehand. That's what they're looking for here inside of the Russian window. They do have an observer ward that spots Tomato.
get jumped as Collapse comes down as well. Then immediate save coming through from Sableye. Absolutely zero hesitation. Now he sees his best friend trying to stay on top of Yatoro. As on the sidelines, Mira does get away. So again, just a bit of posturing and yeah, this is it, right? Like Team Spirit, they can't really hold ground. That's the problem. When TSM turn out, they just have to try and back away and find another way to enter the fight. And that is not easy at the moment with an 8k gold advantage.
Yeah, it's hard to find these immediate pickoffs when the Dawnbreaker ulti just comes in immediately. All of the cores have defensive tools. Oh, and they spotted Mira on this high ground ward that they have, so just trying to catch him.
No, friend. Oh, another kill for Moon.
Dire's top tower.
Yeah, I think Moon tried to play dumb a little bit there. Since they had a really good idea of where he was, but I think it was like, oh, what do you know? You just happen to be here. Please don't go and check my high ground for that ward.
A true support, protecting his ward in every way he can, even employing a bit of acting.
Okay, so still 30 seconds to Roche. Team Spirit are trying to create
Dire's
little
bottom
pockets of
tower
farm
is
on the
under
Dire
attack.
side of the map because they're not really allowed to play on their side currently.
I like the little outpost. You know, they've created sanctuary.
Dire's
Our Earth
turret
is no longer
has been
safe. We had to
killed.
move out.
If you guys aren't using your base,
Dire's
can we have it?
bottom tower is under attack.
It's,
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
trade, swap sides.
Dire's
We'd
structures are
be happy
fortified.
there. It looks great. Lovely home.
Dire's
It's
bottom
TSM
tower is under
rolling
attack.
down the top lane at the moment. They don't care that
Radiant's
Roshan is
middle
about to
tower
spawn
is
or has
under
actually
attack.
already
Dire's
spawned.
bottom
They'll
tower
take this
has
tower. They'll
fallen.
punish the side of Team Spirit for not occupying their side of the map. And now into the pit they go. And a met by a
Radiant's top
big
tower is
scaly
under
man who has a nice little present for
Dire's
him.
bottom tower is under
I think
attack.
it might just give this Aegis to Bryle. He's more of the siege, and he's actually more of the hero that's likely to actually die. The Naga is very difficult to go on. The Dawnbreaker is very difficult to go on.
Soldier's fortune.
Yeah, Shard as well, going to Bryle as well. We'll just give him everything. There you go, Mr. Shadow Fiend.
Hit some buildings, Bryle. Go be confident. We got you
Dire's
back.
bottom tower
Team's
is under
behind you.
attack.
Bottom lane, Toronto,
Dire's
Tokyo.
bottom tower has fallen.
Forward here. Oh, I'm not sure about that. Net comes down from Smile. I mean, if BKB comes down from Toronto, Tokyo, and I don't think they have that. It's close. Oh my god. The blender.
Yeah, good thing he didn't press the dagger of Ritzel. Could have made the difference there.
Yeah, absolutely.
They are having to play this to the absolute limit, right? Just try and get out on the lanes and buy time off of this Aegis. Don't let them come and just hit your high ground. Oh, Mira again.
Dire's
Same ward.
turret has been killed.
Yeah, this time around, there's no pretense from Meander and Duvu.
Top away on the rebound, but they are right the way on top of Mira, and that Marcia is going to get turned to dust. Another one picked up for TSM. They're just trying to get out on the map. They're
Radiant's
just trying
top
to
tower is
push
under
out
attack.
waves, but that just doesn't seem to be happening. TSM so in control of this game that Team Spirit,
Radiant's middle
they just
tower
have to play
is
like
under attack.
rats in the walls of the TSM house, you know, just running out and nibbling at the cheese whilst TSM are looking away. Every time they get caught, nasty little trap.
Radiant
Yeah,
structures
the biggest
are
play
fortified.
maybe available to Rapochka here is actually trying to cancel the Dawnbreaker ult from the other side of the map. Some tips towards this Naga Siren.
Yeah, well,
Radiant's
Tomato's
top
got the
tower
axe,
is
and
Right. Did you
he's trying to
reel him in?
reel in the drought, but it was an illusion.
Okay.
A bit sad.
Radiant's top tower.
A challenge for the full duration, yeah, we're really committed to that reel.
Have you ever seen the real-in like look amazing? Amazing, he's doing it now. Here we go. Dragging him back.
Amazing base skip. Well, Toronto Tokyo dragged back into the entire enemy team. BKB popped, and he's going to get himself away. But that's a BKB charge used for basically nothing.
Radiant's top
Top barracks to 4 here, Team Spirit. Their home is starting to get ravaged by the side of TSM as they just move themselves across. Objective-based gamers looking to drown TSM out of this game.
Yeah,
The bottom lane is also an option. There's a tier 2 over there.
Ability.
how do you fight? I guess you have to wait out Aegis if you can, but 2 minutes feels like a very long time at this point for Team Spirit. Some of the problem that we're seeing is that in a lot of ways, the Lina and the Drow, their fates are just completely entwined this game. If things have gone well, we would probably be talking about, oh wow, Drow Aura on the Lina, how good does that look? But instead, it's both of these heroes just getting absolutely face-checked by TSM in every fight.
Radiant's
Yeah, and I love
bottom
how
tower is under
the
attack.
Drow's at bottom and Sableye literally just throws the hammer at her.
Radiant's
Yeah,
bottom
Just
tower
throws the hammer at
has
your
fallen.
Taurus. Get out of my
Get out of my way. You can't kill this Dawnbreaker. Saberlight's running around with 2.6k health and 36 armor. So
He's double layering on the armor, both a Crimson Guard and an Assault Cuirass. Too much armor, can barely move.
Dire are scanning.
ooh, well, trapped inside your base.
That was going through it to Brile. Needs some help here. He's actually going to drop. That's going to be the Aegis gone. And Sableye comes flying down from the sky, looking to get on top of Mirror here, but also taking some heavy hits. They're going to use the Song. They're going to chase him back now. BKB Tiger's looking a little bit vulnerable. They try to set up with the Requiem. That's what's going to happen. Collapse fights with BKB. It jumps in and stuns him up. Run away from Brile here. There comes a grip out onto Duke. We're wait for the easy targets. And Sableye bouncing around the side, but it's also going to fall. Requiem comes through. That'll allow them to clean up Collapse, but Moon Meander has gone down. Team Spirit looking for more. Toronto Tokyo under the cover of Idvis trying to chase down Tomato. He needs to leave, but I don't know how fast he can get out of this one. Nagasaki.
That's a convenient
hey,
haste
buddy.
run. Yeah.
Oh, lovely stuff.
Dang, Team Spirit making something out of that situation. They pop the Aegis, they managed to draw out the Dawnbreaker ulti, they get the reset. They save their Drow Ranger on the high ground, who doesn't have BKB, right? So Collapse absolutely had to jump in here and make sure that they interrupted the Requiem. This is the kind of in and out team fight that we were hoping to see from Team Spirit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, two big range cores finally able to stand and deliver some damage. Such patience from Collapse, just sitting by the tier 4s, reading how this fight was going to play out, but finally his BKB runs out and Brile's able to turn on him. TSM just a little bit too far ahead.
Yeah, but honestly, the big saving play there was from Collapse getting on top of Brile and stopping him from getting off that Requiem. You know, that was the moment. Maybe a slight misread from TSM, you know, not really clocking the Slardar there properly, but...
Yeah, I think they lost track of where he was. Just kind of able to reset back, go and wait out the
The radius of the song just never feels quite long enough, does it?
No. It's visually weird as well, and the Immortal makes it also kind of tricky to spot. Okay, so Team Spirit, I mean, they're getting some more items up after this last little bit. Front of Tokyo. I don't know if he can really man fight, but he is going for the Satanic here. Might help him a little bit.
I mean, he can man fight in a vacuum, but that's absolutely not the game which TSM are trying to play.
No. And yeah, even Saberlight going to be going back for the Halberd now. Lots of items in between, but still very, very good against the Drow and the Lina.
I think the Slardar, often getting off the bashes in crucial situations.
Yeah, it stops you getting to use the Satanic as like a second BKB, because if you've already used your BKB, you're just going to be disarmed.
It's TSM looking to control this Roshan area. They keep checking it, but it's not going to be up for another minute at least.
Yeah.
Oh, Collapse immediately jumping in forward here, going aggressive, and might be regretting that one as Bra to start taking chunks out of him, but the rebound comes through with BKB. Might give him the space he needs to get away. Tomato trying to land with the ensnare, but he's actually already used it with the right clicks are there from Brile, and they do have the damage to bring down Collapse, so punished for his aggressive movement. Maybe should have blunk away there, but clearly not expect the entirety of TSM to be up in the area when there's no Roshan, so Broken watches OP, I guess.
They do have to keep making these plays, right? The only way that they're going to be able to win a fight is to like jump in, poke, get them to use their BKB, hopefully run away just with all of the move speed. And TSM trying to shut that down, picking up the Blink Dagger on the Shadow Fiend, giving him a little bit more chase. The Naga's got a Blink Dagger picked up as well. So they're thinking as well, okay, what are Team Spirit trying to do to us, and how are we going to try and head off their game plan?
I still really want to see a song into Requiem. Yeah, common combo.
Yeah, haven't gotten to see that here.
Just do it when like they've GG'd or something.
Yeah,
one at the end.
Just at least one. Show us that you've got the coordination. TSM.
Yeah.
Have you been practicing? The one that used to always stand out for me was the song into Elder Titan ulti. Right, that was the team fight combo for a little while.
Certainly was, yeah. And that was back when Naga Meteor Hammer was a bigger thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, and then Naga was playable as a support as well, which has not been a thing for a while. They have, well, I say that, but Sammy Boy, he's
he's
on
the torch
something.
for it.
Yeah, still believes. Okay, so
a lot of the analysts didn't believe in it. Some saying that the Naga support was not good, but you know, I liked what I saw of it. But anyway, that's not this game. What's in this game is Roshan being taken by the side of TSM. Team Spirit, I don't think there's much they can do about that. They do have a smoke loaded up on the Marty, but getting over here in time is just not feasible. Aegis going over to Bryle. Themselves a refresher shard on the SF as well. So 2 rounds of BKB, 2 Requiems if needed. A lot of damage going to be able to pump out of this Shadow Fiend. But Itoro actually showing in the middle lane here behind the smoked team. I'm so surprised that Team Spirit don't come out of their base. This is a bit of a challenge from them.
just trying to punish and see if TSM are not playing cleanly after this rush. But
Song out from Tomato. Oh, he's gonna find
actually, the TP got cancelled for the draft. Itoro just gotta run for it. They haven't spotted.
Yeah, didn't spot the Drow, so Itoro squeaky bum type for him, but looks like don't walk back into them.
Scanned him.
There comes the net. Here comes the Solar Guardian as well, crashing on down on Itoro. He turns around with the silencer. Nothing can do about this one. This is a dead Drow Ranger. TSM catching them out. Beautiful song from Tomato, just turning the game absolutely on it. Well, it's already been won by them, but this might be the end.
Yeah, they're stuffing Team Spirit in the locker one last time. Don't know how they break it up from that. They managed to get mid lane out of it, but they do have a double damage on collapse. They get done.
Jesus, what happened to that fake? The postgrid is annihilated off the face of the earth. Gonna buy back into this one. And Bryle, well, actually dealing some damage into Toronto Tokyo now as well. He's got the Satanic, but he's barely healing through the damage which Bryle is dealing. Zealous coming on out here just to keep himself healthy, but they can't get anywhere close to the bulk of the TSM lineup. Toronto Tokyo just has to stand and watch. 30 seconds still left on the drought. TSM, they want to finish this one up. They want to get those mega creeps and they want to get out before that happens. Middle lane being taken off down here. Bryle just slap it away. Oh, beautifully done there with the Hurricane Punch, blasting back the Marcy who tries to jump on top of him. Keeping that BKB calm and collected. And TSM is going to be able to take every single barrack away from Team Spirit. Victory feeling imminent for the Americans in this game.
Just beautifully played. Really, lane's going fantastic. Hitting their timings. I'm so impressed with the way that Tomato's played this Naga Siren's been super cool to watch. Just picking up the Yasha Orchid and kind of running at them in between farming, not just sitting back AFK. And maybe we can. Well, do they even need to use the song if they've got the Arcane Blink? Maybe it's just a Requiem. We might have 2.
Dream's dead.
He's got a Refresher Shard. Is that enough, Nomad? Is that cool? Is that all right?
That's what I wanted, but I'll take it, I guess. Let's see a nice cool front page of Reddit ending, please, Bryle.
He's gonna blink the Blancs. Let's go.
A lot of play potential here from TSM. That just kind of feels very luxurious for them. They could just kind of run around, look for their entry point. Oh, is this the area we're going to shit on? Maybe, yeah. There's something kind of tempting. on the way in. Now they move forward onto Marcy. Marcy has a BKB, so TSM fine with that. Just like, okay, we'll pop the BKB for free. All it cost them was a swift blink.
Tori, do you want to press your BKB as well? So, nope. Got the man.
Oh, Be Real did it! Here we go, bro! Trying to bring it down, but the BKB is there from the leader in time. And it comes down onto the Shadow Fiend, but the song holds him still. Mira is going to be the target. Right click, come through. 1-2 from Bryles. He now looks towards the towers. Net comes out onto Zlato. He's caught a fishy. And oh my god, the slap's coming out from Bryles. He's just absolutely slapping him down. Tomato as well. The play they're coming out to Tori. Tori got to keep his distance here. Buyback from the Slaughter. They'll see what they can do with the side of Team Spirit. It seems like not much. They'll try to close the gap onto the Sable Line. It seems like a reasonable target here, but in comes Bryal once again, blowing up the Lina, staying on top of him and tearing her apart. Buyback again. Tora fighting. They've actually managed to isolate Tomato here, and he is going to fall. They lose one. Can they lose any more? Dota Tokyo chasing now. They're going to try and get some more, but does get torn apart. These heroes, when they do get on top of them, just absolutely melting. Saberlight going to die as well by the looks of it. A few more fireballs coming out from Alina. Bring down this Saberlight's Dawnbreaker, and Team Spirit, it's a hold.
Yeah, it's an exposed ancient, but never say die for Team Spirit. Still working on this. Drow Rangers picking up the Mjolnir. It hasn't been very easy to leave the base, but they do repel TSM at the cost of two fairly hefty buybacks. If either of those two heroes die at this point, it's going to be tricky. Collapse not even using the BKB on the first life here. Knew that he was going to have to buy back at some point. He's getting kind of chain stunned into oblivion.
Yeah.
Tora doing a good job resetting. Once they came back and they got that corrosive haze on the Naga, they actually did a lot of damage. Tomato suddenly disappearing in the midst of all this.
Yeah, like when they isolate targets, they can just absolutely melt them, even the Naga Siren, as you say, but it's the isolation which is a problem. You know, there's so much other stuff to get through. The team has to be distracted killing someone else, so that's where the buybacks come into play. That's what buys them a little bit of space, but with the Mega Creeps, the space ain't gonna last, and then they're basically getting flooded as we speak, and they'll have to get themselves back, at least on 1 or 2 cores.
There was a cute attempt from Aposhka to try and interrupt the Requiem from the Shadow Fiend, but the Arcane Blink just made it come out too fast, and so the Requiem actually ended up canceling the Fiend script in the middle of all of that. Just kind of unfortunate. Got a refresher on Toronto Tokyo. He's been able to sneak out onto the map occasionally and grab a little bit of farm. He doesn't have buyback, so it's 2 BKBs, 2 Satanics, and a Rapier queued up in the quick buy. Team Spirit are gonna make TSM close this one out. They are never say die.
Yeah, if they get there, that's a problem. He's got to farm a Rapier, and I think Roshan can spawn. They can take it. They can take the Aegis, and they can come in the game before he's going to get that Rapier. I would think.
Yeah, I imagine so. Collapse has somehow found a little pocket of farm out on the map. He's just chilling in the enemy ancients. He's been working on a moon shard.
Taking water.
All right.
Fair enough. Stay hydrated, everybody. You guys as well, all of us. You know, I'm going to take a drink as well.
Yeah, I'm going to have a sip. Everybody, stay hydrated.
Together now.
That's how you mentally stay, and you're like, look, I'm going to have to play this game for another 20 minutes because we're going to win, so I better take a drink.
Yeah, that's a statement, isn't it? You know? Hope you guys aren't getting thirsty, because we're certainly not. We're ready to stay here all day, TSM. You're never ending this game. Yeah, what a confidence play.
Dire are scanning.
Oh, they scanned him on the...
No. No, he doesn't have buyback. Oh no. A BKB, blink away, TP out. The song is... He's in the area and unfortunately, I had Alba just that a little bit too late. The train is Team Spirit. They needed to make a play, and they do manage to do so. In the under and Maposhka. Oh, what? No, wait. Oh, okay, all right. Just sing it out. Just sing it out, man. It's fine. 4-staffed in, then got 4-staffed back, and I think that was also a
psychic headband, yeah.
as well, yeah.
The timing almost made it look like Bane had like a arcane pike, and I was like, what is going on there? Yeah, not quite. Well, you know, Collapse gets a water break, Prowl gets a water break. Roshan in a minute and a half.
So hydrated. LGD got a water break earlier as well. Able to drink up liquid.
God.
Too soon.
That's what was in the coconuts this whole time.
Sucking away. Alright. Well, Roshan gonna respawn in just about a minute. That'll give them time to get Bryle back up and fighting. He can come back into the engagement. Also some buybacks to farm on TSM as well, so they probably like those before they go for another push. Meanwhile, they'll just keep capitalizing upon the money that's coming in for them.
I'm shocked that Team Spirit have been able to keep so many wards on the map.
This'll come in handy.
Bring them into the illusions. Oh man, Pochka. Alright, well, so say goodbye to you, Jim.
Yep. That really doing work, to be fair. Yatoro, hello. This is an interesting place on the map for him, and he's going to be able to TP out. The net doesn't quite connect. Team Spirit just playing on the edge. I mean, it's only a CM kill, but you know, Yatoro just making them sweat, constantly making them doubt themselves. There's pesky D ward, 4-staff down again. Just control up the Roche area. That is the only objective right now. They don't need to be worried. They don't need to be concerned. Team Spirit aren't actually doing anything beyond keeping themselves in a very, very lost game. Let's be real about this.
Yeah, it's very much like, hey guys, end the game. Just do it. They have dragged it back from a 0% win probability for them. It was 0% a little bit ago. They're all the way up to 5% now. So whatever they're doing, the algorithm is believing in it. And we doubted the Rapier was going to come out from Toronto Tokyo, but he's accumulated some network here. He might even get to have another buyback. We'll see though. TSM, another Aegis in hands.
Yeah, and Yatoro going to be able to pick up a Aghanim Scepter as well. So, you know, we talked about it earlier on. Great answer to the Naga Siren. Great answer to the Mega Creeps. It's something.
He's got 9k gold. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Buyback and then some on Yatoro. He's been sitting here hitting creeps the entire time. 600 CS.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Yatoro could open a trust fund if he wanted to. So what do we have on the side of TSM? We've got Bryle, who's just got a whole basket of items, including a Refresher Shard, an Arcane Blick, and an Aegis. So he's able to come in, land the fireworks, bring them down. Saberlight hasn't actually had any item progression since we last saw. He's got himself a Blink Dagger now, and 2 cheeses. 2 whole cheese,
yeah. It would be nice if he had nags at this point, but I'm preferring to give it to the Shadow Fiend. Oh. Gonna have to execute a team fight to close this one out. Team Spirit making him work for it.
Team Spirit are happy, you know, they're just
yeah, you may have outdrafted us, but can you out-team fight us? This is the real question.
Patience is real, and let's see, anybody want to go Ivan or Luna's courier?
Would they get the grip?
Commitment, they get the grip. Yeah, there's a storm coming through to cancel that one out though. Bryle is going to be able to survive through it. Looks like he just about is. And I'll turn it around on Yatoro. He is dead. Immediate buyback from him. And on the backline as well, just going to use the Requiem to keep them away. Toronto Tokyo though, tearing Saberlight apart. He's going to be the first casualty for TSM. Can they get through for more? Yes, they can. Stun Alex in the end, but he is gone. Solar Guardian coming through to bring Saberlight back into the fight. Mirror's going to be able to dodge the edge back damage, and Saberlight's getting gunned down again by the looks of it. He is coming out from 2, so he's being so ripping. Bryle jumps in, looking for the targets here, trying to bring down the Drow, but can't connect onto him. So instead, we'll move towards Collapse. Collapse is going to lose his life here. Does not have buyback available on the Slava. 1,000 gold off. The Toronto Tokyo still fighting the front line here. They get the gun down Bryle. He saved like still alive in this one. Then we're going to lose our now. They will bring down the leader. Miracon as well. What's left in the tank for Team Spirit here as they joke from the post on the backline. Bryle so low. Toronto Tokyo trying to take hits at him, but he's helped still fight. And then another net coming on through. Refresher, BKB, not enough coming out from the leader. The Apologies are dropped. The game will go. TSM at long last.
Tomato doing it in the end, kills the Drow for the second time, gets the die back, and that was all that they needed. Team Spirit, it's their last series of the day. I guess why not?
They were ready.
Really,
Look,
yeah, force
3 bottles of water on the deck.